叫做。
女士们、先生们，下午好。
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
全国政协14届一次会议
The
安
press
排的
conference for the non-CPC
民
political
主党
parties
派
and the
和
All
全
China
国工商
Federation of
联
Industry and Commerce
专场
arranged by
记
the
者
first
会
session of the
现在
14th
开始。
National Committee of the Chinese People's Political
我是
Consultative
全国
Conference
政协副秘书长
CPPCC now
张晓
begins.
明，
I am Zhang Xiaoming,
负
Secretary
责
General of the
主持
session,
今天的记者
and I
会。
will be your host today.
在此，我代表大会秘书处
On behalf of the Secretariat
向
of the session,
出席记者会的
let me extend
所有
a
中外记者
welcome
表示欢迎。
to all the Chinese and foreign journalists to the press conference.
从1988年全国政协
Since the first
7届一次
session
会议
of the
开始，
7th National Committee of the
每
CPPCC
逢政协
in
换届大会
1988, each time the new
全国政
CPPCC
协都
leadership
会安
is
排
elected,
新一届
there is
民主党
a
派
press
和
conference
全国
for the
工商
newly
联的领
elected
导人
chairpersons
举
of
行
the
记者会。
non-CPC parties and the All
这已
China
经形成
Federation
惯
of
例。
Industry and Commerce ACFIC.
去年年
This
底
has become a custom.
各民主党
At the
派
end of last year, the
和全国工商
non-CPC
联
parties and the
相
ACFIC
继
held
举行
their
了
national congresses,
各自的全国代表大会，选举产生了
they
各
elected
自的
their new
新一
central
届
leading
中央领
bodies.
导机构。今天呢，我们是很荣幸的
Today we
邀
are
请
honored
到
to have invited
8位
to the press
民主
conference
党派中央主
the
席、
8 chairpersons
还
of the
有
non-CPC
全
parties
国工商联主
and
席
the chairperson of the
一
ACFIC
起同中外记者会面，
to meet the journalists here.
重点介绍
They will
新
brief
时
you
代
on how
民主党
their
派
parties
发
perform
挥
the roles
中国特
in
色社会主义
participating
参政
in
党
state
独用的情况
affairs under socialism
和
with Chinese
全国工商联的
characteristics
工作，
and the work of the
然后呢
ACFIC in the
回
new
答
era
记者们的提问。
and take your questions.
现在，请允许我
Now please
向大
allow
家
me to present
逐一介绍新一届
the
各民主党
newly
派中央
elected
主席
chairpersons of the
和
NPC,
全国工商
non-CPC
联
parties and the
主席。
ACFIC to you.
民革中央主席
They are
郑建邦先生，
Chairperson of the Central Committee of the Revolutionary Committee of the Chinese
民盟中
Kuomintang,
央主
Mr.
席
Zheng Jianbang,
丁仲礼先生，
Chairperson of the Central Committee of the China Democratic League, Mr. Ding
民
Zhongli,
建中央主席郝明
Chairperson
金
of the
先生，
Central Committee of the China National Democratic
民
Construction
进中央主
Association,
席
Mr. Hao Mingjin,
蔡达峰先生，
Chairperson of the Central Committee of the China Association for
农
Promoting
工党
Democracy,
中央
Mr.
主
Cai
席
Dafeng,
何为先生，
Chairperson of the Central Committee of the Chinese Peasants and Workers
致公
Democratic
党
Party,
中央
Mr.
主
He
席
Wei,
蒋竹君先
Chairperson of the
生，
Central Committee of the China 致公 Party, Mr. Jiang Zuojun,
九山学社中央主席
Chairperson of
伍
the
维华
Central
先生，
Committee of the Jiusan Society, Mr. Wu Weihua,
台盟中央主席
Chairperson of
女
the
士
Central Committee of the Taiwan Democratic Self-Government
全
League,
国
Ms.
工商
Su
联主
Hui,
席高云龙
and
先
the
生。
Chairperson of the Executive Committee of the All
接下
China
来先
Federation
请
of
各
Industry
位
and
主
Commerce,
席
Mr. Gao
做一
Yunlong.
个简短的介绍性发言，
I will invite the
然
chairpersons
后
to
回答
give
记
their
者
brief
提问。
opening remarks, and then they will
本次
take
记
your
者会的
questions.
总时长
This press conference is
把握
scheduled
在1 个
for
半小时左
about
右。
1.5
现在
hours.
先请
And now give the floor
民
to
革中央主席
Chairperson
郑
Zheng
建邦
Jianbang
先
of
生
the
发言。
Revolutionary Committee of the Chinese
各
Kuomintang.
位媒体朋友，大家
Friends
下
from
午
the
好。
media, good
很高
afternoon.
兴能在举世
It is
瞩
my
目的
great pleasure
全国
to
两
meet
会期
you
间
at the much
和
followed
媒体朋
two
友们见
sessions.
面。去年12月，
Last
民
December,
革第14次全国代表大会选举我
I was
担任
elected chairperson
民革中央
of the
主
Central
席。
Committee of the Revolutionary Committee of the
责任
Chinese
重大，
Kuomintang,
使命
RCCK, at its 14th
民
National
革的
Congress.
全称
For
是
me, this is
中国国
indeed
民
a
党
noble
革
mission
命
and a
委员
great
会，
responsibility.
是由原
The
中国国民
RCCK
党
was
民
founded
主
by
派
former
和
members of the
其他
Democratic
爱国
Group of the
民主
Kuomintang
人士
and other
在
patriots
香港
in Hong
创
Kong.
建的。民革继承和发扬
Carrying
孙
forward
中山
Mr. Sun
爱
Yat-sen's
国革
legacy,
命
of devotion to the nation, to revolution, and to progress is the fine tradition and basic characteristic of the RCCK. We currently have more than 162,000 members who participate in and deliberate on state affairs in three main fields: society and the rule of law, promoting China's peaceful reunification, and agriculture, rural areas, and farmers. Following the 18th National Congress of the Communist Party of China, CPC, socialism with Chinese characteristics entered a new era. Focusing on the major strategies of the CPC and the country, the RCCK carried out studies on advancing Belt and Road cooperation and on strengthening the rule of law and improving the business environment. We actively contributed our input through high-level consultations, the direct channel of communication, CPPCC meetings, and group proposals. In the past 5 years, with an emphasis on the quality of proposals, we submitted to the CPPCC National Committee 163 group proposals. 23 of them were key proposals under the oversight of the CPPCC National Committee, and 5 were named outstanding proposals of the 13th CPPCC National Committee. Promoting China's peaceful reunification has always been a priority of our work. To serve the overall work regarding Taiwan, we have leveraged our links with Taiwan in developing cultural platforms such as the Zhongshan Huangpu Cross-strait Bonds Forum, the Huachan Award, and the Tuanzaiyuaniu Children's Drama, assisting Taiwan youths in settling down in the mainland, and deepening exchanges and integration and forging closer bonds between the people on both sides of the strait. In the interest of time, that's all for my opening remarks. Thank you.
Next speaker is Chairperson Ding Zhongli of the China Democratic League.
Greetings to you all. Let me say a few words about the past, present, and future of the China Democratic League. First, the past. The China Democratic League was founded in March 1942 in Chongqing. It was during the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression. Over the past 82 years, the China Democratic League has stood through wind and rain and carried out close cooperation with the CPC. At our National Congress last year, we received a congratulatory message from the CPC Central Committee, which gives a summary of our history. It says, the China Democratic League fought shoulder to shoulder together with the CPC for national independence and people's liberation. In advancing socialist revolution and construction, we explored the path forward together with the CPC. During reform, opening up, and socialist modernization, we broke new ground together with the CPC. And on the great journey in the new era, we pressed ahead together with the CPC. Hence, the glorious history of the China Democratic League. Second, regarding the present, the China Democratic League has 346,000 members, comprised mainly of intellectuals in the field of culture, education, and relevant fields of science and technology. There are more than 40 academicians and some 200 members serving as university presidents, vice presidents, deans, and deputy deans, and nearly 20,000 deputies to people's congresses and members of CPPCC committees at national and local levels. So, talent abounds in the China Democratic League. Third, regarding future plans, there are mainly 4 points. First, we will hope to make the China Democratic League even more politically solid. Second, we will carry forward the fine traditions of the China Democratic League. Third, to serve the country's development, we will make new contributions. And fourth, we will further improve ourselves in order to participate in state affairs and make more contributions. Thank you.
Next speaker, Chairperson Hao Mingjin of the China National Democratic Construction Association.
Good afternoon. I was here for the press conference 5 years ago, and it's a real pleasure to meet friends from the media again today. The China National Democratic Construction Association is composed mainly of those from the economic sector. Our association was founded on December 16, 1945 in Chongqing. We have a glorious history characterized by patriotism and revolution. After the PRC was founded, based on the situation of different time periods, we put forward such guidelines as follow Chairman Mao's instructions, follow the CPC's lead, and follow the socialist path. Unswervingly follow the CPC and make every effort for the four modernizations, etc. We have actively fulfilled our duty to the country and the people and made our contributions to China's revolution, construction, and reform. Since entering the new era, our association has strengthened political guidance and self-improvement and taken concrete steps to fulfill our responsibilities, making achievements in our work across the board. In winning the battle against poverty, building a moderately prosperous society in all respects, realizing the first centenary goal, and embarking on a new journey to build China into a modern socialist country in all respects, we have played our part, as well as in the Chinese modernization. At our association's 12th National Congress not long ago, we studied in depth the guiding principles of the CPC's 20th National Congress and put forward our new guideline, unwaveringly follow the CPC and strive in unity on the new journey. We called on our committees at all levels and our membership to rally more closely around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, give emphasis to both political consultation and consensus building, combine self-improvement with the discharge of mandate, and forge ahead with enterprise and fortitude to make fresh contributions to building a modern socialist country in all respects. My sincere thanks go to friends from the media for your interest in and great support for the work of our association. Thank you. I now give the floor to Chairperson Cai Dafeng of the China Association for Promoting Democracy.
Friends from the press, good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to meet with you today. The China Association for Promoting Democracy is mainly comprised of intellectuals in sectors such as education, culture, publishing, media, and other fields. Founded in 1945 in Shanghai, it has a glorious history and fine traditions. The elder generation of the association include renowned figures like Ma Shilun, Zhou Jianren, Ye Shengtao, Lei Jieqiong, Xie Bingxin, and Zhao Puchu. Our association has 29 provincial-level organizations and 9,248 primary-level organizations with around 195,000 members. After its founding, our association worked side by side with the CPC. During the democratic movements in the 1940s, it overcame the hardships and emerged out of them a stronger partner of cooperation with greater political conviction and fine traditions. From the new democratic revolution to the founding of New China, from socialist revolution and construction to reform, opening up, and socialist modernization, and in building socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, the association has all along played an important role. On the new journey of building a modern socialist country on all fronts, we will rally more closely around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core. Our association will take more solid and pragmatic steps to strengthen itself, fulfill its responsibility, play its role as a non-CPC political party, and make new contributions to multi-party cooperation. Thank you.
Next, Chairperson He Wei of the Chinese Peasants and Workers Democratic Party.
下午好。
Friends from the press, good afternoon.
感谢新闻媒体长期以
First,
来
I would like to thank you for your care and support for the work of the China Peasants and Workers Democratic Party.
农务党的全称是中国农工
The
民主党
China Peasants and Workers Democratic Party
国民党左派领袖邓演良先生联合国民党其他的左派
and
同志
other
组建了
left-wing
中国农工民
parties
主党。
formed
自1930
what
年
it is
成立以
today.
来，
Since its
一
founding,
代又一代农工党人
generations
同中国共产党团
of
结奋
our
斗，
party members
携手前行，
worked together with the
形成了
CPC,
爱国革命
and
奉献的
we
光荣历
left
史和传
behind
统。
the fine traditions of
目前
patriotism, revolution,
农
and
工党是
dedication.
以医药卫生、人口资源
Our
和生态
party
环
is
境
comprised of
以及相
intellectuals
关的
from
科学技术
scientific and technological
教育
and
领域中
education
高
sectors
中
such
低
as health,
知识分子
medicine,
为主体界
population
别
and
的
resources,
中国
and
特色
ecological
受理
environment.
现有党员
It now has around
7万余人，
197,000 members and 30 provincial level organizations.
过去5年，
Over the
农
past
工党
5
积极
years,
投身于多党合
our
作事
party
业，
has devoted
深入
itself
践
to
行
the cause of
新型政党
multi-party
制度，
cooperation,
各项
fully
工作
practiced a
取
new
得了
type of political
新进
party
展、
system,
新成绩。
and made new progress in
一
all
是强
areas of
化
work.
思想政治
First,
引领，
enhancing
开展主题
political
教育
and theoretical
把
guidance.
思想
We have carried
和行
out
动
themed
引
educational
领到
campaigns
中共中央的
and think and
决
act
策
in
部署上
accordance with the decisions of the
中共党全党
CPPCC
上下
Central
团结
Committee.
奋斗，特别是
In
在
particular,
脱贫攻坚、
our party
疫
worked
情
in
防控
solidarity
工作
in the
中
fight against
尽锐出战，
COVID-19
努力奉
and
献，
poverty,
形成了爱国为民的政治本
delivering
色。
our commitment to serving the
二
country
是
and the people.
扎实履职尽责，
Second,
围
honoring
绕
their
中心服务大局，
responsibilities,
发挥界
focusing
别
on the
的优
country's
势作
central
用，
task.
聚
Our
焦
party has
推
leveraged
进
its
健
close
康中国建
ties
设、
with the
美丽中
healthcare
国建设，
sector,
促进
and made
人口
proposals and
长期
suggestions on the
均衡
building
发
of a
展，
healthy China
力争
and the
建言，
beautiful China,
为
as well
全
as
面
the
建成小康社
long-term
会目标
and
贡
balanced
献
development
智
of the
慧和力量。
population, contributing
三
our
是深
wisdom
入
to the building of
推
a
进自身
moderately
建设，
prosperous society in all
实施
respects.
政治建
Third,
党、
enhancing our
人才强党、
capabilities.
履职
We have
兴党、
implemented the
作风固党、
five-point strategy
制度
of
治党
strengthening the
五大
party
战
through
略，
political
取得了
education,
阶段性
training
成果。
competent personnel, performing
农
duties,
工党的自身
promoting
建
good
设
conduct, and
迈向
putting
了新的
institutions
台
in
阶。
place. And good
去年
progress has
12
been
月，
made.
农工党17大产生
Last
了
December,
新一届
the
中
new
央领
central
导机构，
leadership was elected at the
作为农工党主
17th
席，
National Congress of
接
our
过事业
party.
发展的接力棒，
I
我
was
深感
elected as
责任重大。
chairperson. Taking over the baton, I'm humbled by the weighty responsibilities entrusted to me.
团结全体
I will
农
lead
工
all
党
the
党员，
party comrades
在以
in
习近平
following
同
the
志为
strong
核心的
leadership of
中
the
共中央坚
CPC
强领
Central
导下，
Committee with
为
Comrade
落
Xi
实
Jinping at its
凝聚
core,
人心、汇聚力量，
contribute our
履行职
share
能
to pulling the
服务大局，
support and the strength of
推
the
进
people,
自身建设，更
fulfill
续
our
优良传
responsibility
统，
of
这
serving the
3项
country,
基本
enhance
任务
our
而
own
做出不懈
capacities,
的努力。
and carry forward
感谢
the
各位
fine
的关注。
traditions. Thank you for your attention.
请致公党中央主席蒋竹君先生
Next,
发言。
Chairperson Jiang Zuojun of the
各
China
位
Zhigong
记
Party.
者朋友，大家下午好。
Friends from the
在这
media,
里
good，
我谨
afternoon.
代表致公党中央
On behalf of the
向
Central
各
Committee of
新
the
闻
China
媒体
Zhigong
多年以
Party,
来
let me
对
extend
致公党工
sincere
作的
thanks to
关
you
心和宣传
for your
表示
long-standing
衷心的
interest
感
in
谢
the。coverage of the work of our
致公
party.
党呢是成
The
立
China
最
Zhigong
早
Party
的
was
民主党
founded
派。1925
in
年10月，
San Francisco,
在
the
美
United
国
States,
旧金
in
山成
October
立。
1925,
再
the
过2
earliest
年
among the
将迎来
non-CPC political
100年
parties.
华诞。
And in 2 years,
致公
it's
党呢
about to
主要是由
celebrate
归
its
侨
centenary.
侨眷中
The
的
party is
中
mainly
上层
composed of
人士
returned overseas
和其
Chinese
他有
and their
海外关
relatives
系的代表
and
性人士为
representatives
主
of people with
组成的
overseas
这样一个参
connections.
政党。那么自公啊，这个名字
Its
呢
name, 致公，
是来自致公堂的
comes
堂
from the
训。
motto of
致公堂的
Qigong
堂
Tang,
训是这样2句话，
which is
叫做“治和遇事，
治和
公益
遇事
同谋”。
公益同
它
谋
反映的是呢，
meaning to
和谐
pursue
中庸、
harmony and
公
the
平
middle
正义
way,
的
and to
中
seek
华
fairness
传统
and
文化
justice,
精神。
which reflects the
那么致
ethos
公呢
of，traditional
便是
Chinese
取这
culture.
2句话的首字而合成。
So the first
那么到
words
了
of the
上个
two
世纪
lines
80
come
年代
together and
致公
become
党
the
老一
name of
辈
the
领导
party.
人
In the
黄鼎
1980s, the
臣、
old generation
董
of
明珠
Zhigong
先生
party
呢，就
leaders
先后
Huang
指
Dingchen
出，
and Dong
所谓
Yingfu
致公
pointed out
就是
that
致力
致公
为公。
means to be
于是
committed
呢
to the public.
致力 卫工 就成了志工
And
的
this has
权威的
become
定义。
the official definition of 志
那
工。
么截至目前呢，
Up to
志
now,
工党在全国有党
the
员
party
7
now
万
has
人，
a membership
近
of nearly
80%都
70,000,
具有
close to
侨海
80%
背
of
景。
which have
因此呢，我们的
overseas
履职呢
backgrounds.
也注
When
重
performing
发
our
挥侨海
duties,
特色。
We pay
去
attention
年
to
12
tapping
月份
interest strengths in overseas
职工党
connections.
16大
Last December,
选举
the
产生了新
China
一届
Zhigong
中
Party
央
elected
领导
its
机
new
构。
central committee
那么职工
at
党
its
新一届
16th
中央
National
领导班
Congress.
子呢，紧密团结
The
在于
new
习近平
leadership
同志
rallies
为
closely
核心的
around the
中共
CPC
中
Central
央周
Committee
围
with Comrade Xi Jinping
高
at its
昂
core
致力
and
为
forges
公
ahead
跟党
with
走
renewed
侨海
resolve
报
to
国
follow the
建
CPC
新
in
功
our
的
commitment to the
崭新姿
public
态
and
和
score
奋斗
new
精神，
achievements in serving the
在
country.
扎实走好中国式现代化道路上，
We will
竭尽
unswervingly follow the
武功
Chinese
之力，
path to modernization,
在促进
contribute our
全
best
体
in
中华儿
enhancing
女
unity
大团结
among
中
Chinese
汇聚
people across
磅
the
礴之
world.
力，在助力全面建设社会主义现代化国家
We will work
和实现中
relentlessly
华民族
for
伟大
building
复
a
兴
modern
中
socialist
奋发
country in all
不竭
respects
之力，
and
此为
realizing the great
致力为公益
rejuvenation
谢
of the
谢。
Chinese nation. Thank you.
请九三学社中央主席
Next,
伍维华先生发言。
Chairperson Wu Weihua of the Jiusan Society.
各位新闻界的朋友们，大家下午好。
Friends from the media, good
首
afternoon.
先，我代表九三学社中
On
央
behalf of the
对
Jiusan
各位朋
Society
友
Central
长期以
Committee,
来对九三学社
I
工
wish
作
to
的关心
extend
和支持
our
表
heartfelt
示衷
thanks
心的
to
感谢。
you for your
九三
interest in and
学社
support for our work.
是以科学技术界
The Jiusan
高中
Society
级知识
mainly
分子为
comprises
主的
intellectuals from the
民主党
science
派。
and technology sector.
它的前身是
Originally,
在抗战后期，
it was
在重
the
庆有
Forum
一
on
批进步
Democracy
学
and
者自
Science
发的
established
组织
in
了一个
Chongqing, initiated
民主
by
科学
progressive
座谈会。
intellectuals during the final years of the
到
War of
45年9
Resistance
月
against
3号
Japanese
为纪
aggression.
念抗日
On
战争的
September the
胜
3rd,
利和
1945,
世
in
界
celebration
反
of the
法西斯
victory
战争的
in the
胜
war
利，
against Japanese aggression and the
就
World Anti-Fascist
更
War,
名为九
the
三座
organization
谈
was
会。
renamed the
那
Jiusan
么后来
Forum,
随着
and later the
人员
Jiusan
的扩大呢，
Society as the
又
organization
改称
expanded,
为九三
as
学社。
Jiusan means September the
那么
3rd.
自九三学社创建之日起，九三学社始终
Since its
秉
inception,
承
the
爱
Jiusan
国、
Society
民主、科学
has
的优良
embraced
传统，
patriotism, democracy,
同
and
中国共产
science.
党风雨同舟，共同奋斗。
It has worked side by side with the
70多
CPC
年来，
in
九三学
solidarity.
社很多前辈
Over the
为
past
我国
70
的
plus
科技
years, our
事业
predecessors
做出了
have made
卓越的贡
outstanding
献。
contributions to China's scientific
例如
and technological
王干
advancement.
昌、
For
邓稼
example,
先、
Mr. Wang Ganchang and
陈
Mr.
方
Deng
勇
Jiaxian
赵九章、
Mr.
陈
Chen Fangyun
开甲5位先生是获得2弹1星
and 2 others
公
were
平奖
awarded
章。
medals for achievements in
还有
two bombs, missiles, and
王
satellite.
选、
And Wang Xuan,
黄坤、
Huang Kun,
陈开甲、
Chen Kaijia,
施长旭、
施长旭、
谢嘉玲5位
谢
先生
嘉玲
是荣获了国家最高科学技
won
术
China's
奖
top science
等等。
and technology award. The list goes
那么
on.
进入新时代，也涌现了一批在
In the new
科技
era,
前沿领域
more
取得重
Jiusan
要
Society members
科研
have
成
made
果的
important
社员，
achievements in cutting-edge
比如
research.
大家可能很熟悉
For
的
example,
现任的九三学社
the
中央
current
副主
vice
席，
chairpersons of
我
Jiusan
国著名
Society,
的也是世界上著名
world-renowned
的量子
quantum
物理学家
physicist 潘建伟
伟先生，还有材料科学
and
家
materials
卢
scientist
科先
Lu
生、
Ke
刘忠范先生等等。
and Liu Zhongfan, whom you may
目
know
前九
very
三学社
well.
在30个省
Up
市
to now, the
自治
Jiusan
区呢
Society
建
has
立了组
established
织。
organizations in 30
有社员
provinces, autonomous regions,
将近
and
21万
municipalities,
人。
and has nearly
过去5
210,000
年，九三学
members.
社充分发
Over
挥
the
自
past
身的
5
借鉴优
years,
势，
the Jiusan Society has
紧
fully
紧围绕
leveraged the
党和国家
advantages
中
of
心
its
任务
sector
参政
and
履职，
performed its duties in participating
聚焦
in state affairs and
创新驱动发展战
facilitating
略
the
的
central
实
tasks
施
of
和
the
实
CPC
现
and the
科
country,
技自立自
focusing
强。
on the implementation
深入
of the
开展调查
innovation-driven
研究，
development
积极建
strategy
言
and
献
the
策，
pursuit of scientific and
扎实开
technological
展脱贫攻
self-reliance
坚
and
民主
strength.
监督
It has carried
和
out
长
in-depth
江生态
research
保
and
护民
studies
主
and
监督工
actively
作，
put forward proposals.
在助力
It
精准
exercised
脱
concrete
贫、全
democratic
面建成小
supervision
康社
over
会、
the
生
fight
态文明
against
建
poverty
设
and
以及
ecological
服务国家
conservation
重大
of the
战略
Yangtze
方面
River,
取得
and
了
scored
新
new
成绩。
achievements in facilitating
我先
targeted
简要
poverty
介绍这些情
reduction,
况，
the
如
building
果
of a
后面有
moderately
机会呢
prosperous
再
society,
回答
and
大
the
家关
country's
心的
major
问题。谢谢。
strategies. And I am happy
请
to
台
take
盟
your
中央
questions
主
later.
席舒辉女士 发言。
Next, Chairperson Su Hui of the Taiwan Democratic Self-Government League.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to meet you, friends from the media. I am here representing the Taiwan Democratic Self-Government League, TDSL. The name of our league starts with Taiwan, which says a lot about our mission. That is to carry forward Taiwan compatriots' fine traditions of loving our country and our hometowns, and strive to realize China's complete reunification. In the heart of every member, there is the bond of close kinship, the yearning for our home and love for our motherland. The reunification of the motherland and rejuvenation of the Chinese nation are the abiding aspiration and mission of the League. Last December, I was elected chairperson of the Central Committee of the Taiwan Democratic Self-Government League at its 11th National Congress. It represents the support and trust our membership has placed on me, and more importantly, it is encouragement that will drive me on. I am fully aware of the important responsibilities on my shoulders, and I am confident that I will keep in mind our original aspiration, fulfill my duties diligently, and lead the League membership in pressing ahead in a new era. The League has been established for 76 years. It has always upheld the CPC's leadership and worked in close cooperation with the CPC. It has mobilized its members and Taiwan compatriots to actively join the great endeavors of founding the PRC, developing the country, exploring reform, and realizing the Chinese dream. It is committed to the path of socialism with Chinese characteristics, and has contributed to national prosperity, rejuvenation, and people's happiness. Over the past 76 years, the League has held high the banner of patriotism, carried forward Taiwan compatriots' fine traditions of loving our country and our hometowns, and harnessed its strength in reaching Taiwan compatriots through our close connections and strong affinity. From the perspective that we are one family, the League hears how Taiwan compatriots feel and what they think, and pushes forward integrated development across the strait. In order to bring the people on both sides of the strait closer together and develop the League's overall framework of its Taiwan-related work in the new era. Promoting peaceful development of the cross-strait relations and realizing China's peaceful reunification is the League's consistent mission and abiding goal. In the new era, the League will fully leverage its unique strength in extensive connections with Taiwan compatriots at home and abroad. We will bring together our members and Taiwan compatriots to promote cross-strait economic and cultural exchange and cooperation, deepen integrated development of the two sides, foster stronger public support for national reunification, advance the reunification process, and, under the CPC's leadership, embark on a new journey toward our great dream. I thank you, friends from the media, for your interest in our League, and please allow me to take this opportunity to ask our journalists from Taiwan to convey our greetings to our folks and friends in Taiwan.
I now give the floor to Chairperson Gao Yunlong of the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce.
Friends from the media, good afternoon. Thank you for your long-term interest and support for the development of the private sector and the work of the China Federation of Industry and Commerce, CFIC. This year marks the 70th anniversary of the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce, ACFIC. Over the past 7 decades, under the CPC's leadership, the CFIC has braved wind and rain and forged ahead. It has become a bridge connecting the CPC and the government with people from the private sector and assisted the government in managing and serving the private sector. Immediately after the country was liberated, in 1949, the CFIC rallied the business community and played a positive role for the overall recovery of the economy and the initial boom of market supply in China. Since the launch of reform and opening up in 1978, private enterprises mushroomed, and the CFIC has actively stepped up guidance and service to the business community, and together with them, we worked on the central tasks of the party and the country. We made positive contributions in making China the world's second largest economy, and in facilitating hundreds of millions of rural workers to find jobs in cities and settle in cities, which is our contribution to China's urbanization process. In the new era, focusing on the central tasks of the CPC and the country, we have encouraged private enterprises and entrepreneurs to focus on targeted poverty reduction, epidemic control, coordinating regional development, ensuring stable employment and livelihoods, and other important tasks. We've built our own brand, the 10,000 enterprises helping 10,000 villages. We have helped promote local development through our investment promotion events. I think you have seen that. Many provinces are competing for the limited slots for such events. In this process, the CFIC has acted with great initiative to promote the growth of the private sector. The private sector plays an important role in advancing overall economic performance, adding jobs, and expanding reform and opening up, as well as many other important endeavors. The 20th CPC National Congress made a rallying call to build a modern socialist country in all respects. For the CFIC, we must serve Chinese modernization. We must provide sound political and theoretical guidance and encourage persons from the private sectors to develop modern mindsets and work styles. Those private entrepreneurs must have science-based or sound mindsets and work styles. Private businesses should develop modern models of corporate governance. They shouldn't be governed, as in the past, by a big family. The private sector, as a whole, should build modern mechanisms of operation. Through these efforts and work, we aim to promote further development of the private sector and bring the business community closer to the CPC and to
民
contribute
企应当有的贡献。
to the cause
谢谢大
of
家。
Chinese modernization. Thank you.
感谢各位主席刚才的介
Thank you
绍
for。your opening
现在
remarks.
开始
The
记
floor is
者
now
提问，
open for questions.
请提问的记者先举手示
Please
意。
raise your hand
提问前呢，
and
先通报自己所
identify
在
your
的
media
新闻机
affiliation
构的
before
名
asking
称。
your questions.
开始。
The floor is open.
请中区第2排中间位置那位戴眼镜的男记者提问。
各位主席，下午好，我是中国新闻社、中国新闻网的记者。我的提问是：今年1月16号，习近平总书记在同党外人士座谈并共迎新春时强调，希望各民主党派把多党合作所长和中心大局所需结合起来。我想请问主席们，如何理解这个所长和所需之间的关系？另外，在过去10年，党和国家重大战略决策部署，尤其是应对重大风险挑战中，我们的民主党派是如何参与其中并发挥独特作用的？谢谢。
China News Service. On January the 16th, during the annual gathering with non-CPC members ahead of the Spring Festival, General Secretary Xi Jinping called on non-CPC political parties to apply the strengths of multi-party cooperation to serving the overall interests of the country. My question is, what is the relationship between the strengths of multi-party cooperation and the country's overall interests? And over the past 10 years, how have your parties participated in and contributed to implementing the country's major strategic decisions and addressing major risks and challenges? Thank you.
我先来回答这位
Let me
记者
take this
朋友的
question
提问。
first.
从民革的
For the
理智实
Revolutionary
践来看
Committee of the Chinese
说怎么发
Kuomintang,
挥好
in
民
our
革的
experience,
特长优势
the
和
key is to
党的
leverage our
国家的
strength
中心大局结
to
合起来。
serve the country's
我
overall
们有一
interests.
句很形象的话，也算是个经验吧，叫做
For us,
上接
the key
天
is
线，
to align
下
with
接
top-level
地气
decisions and meet the needs of
上
the
接
people.
天线指的是
By
我
aligning
们
with
履
top-level
职
decisions,
要
we
锚定
mean that we
党
should
和国家的重大
follow
战略
the
决策
major，
这个不能
decisions
偏移。
of the CPC
下
and
接
the
地气
country
呢，就是要
by meeting the needs of the
深
people.
入实践、调
We
查
mean
研究、
carrying out
了
in-depth
解
research
地
and
方的
studies
经济发展需求
to really
和
understand the
广大
needs
人民群
for
众的
economic
诉求。
development and the
在
needs
这
of
个
the
基础
people.
上，把通过调
And
查
on this
研究
basis,
形成的一些成果，
we can
把
turn
它
the
进一步的
outcomes
归
of our
纳、
studies
总结、提炼，形成
into
一个比较好的
sound
参政议政的
proposals
一个材料，供
for state
中共中央
governance,
和国务院决
which
策
are
层
for the
参考。
reference of the CPC Central
那这
Committee
方
and
面
the
啊，
State
我倒可以
Council.
举一个例子。
I'd like to share with you
大家
an
都知道
example.
，2018年到
As you
2020
know,
年啊，这3年我
From
们是
2018,
打这个
to
脱贫
2020,
攻坚战，
we fought a
应
war
当说是
against
以习
poverty.
近平同志为核心的党中央
It is
率领
led
包
by the
括
CPC
我们
Central
各个民
Committee
主
with
党派和
Comrade Xi
全国
Jinping
工
at
商
its
联
core,
在内的
and with
14亿人民
participation from
打的这
our
一场漂
non-CPC
亮的
political
攻坚战。
parties and the All China Federation of Industry and
以我们
Commerce,
民革
as
为
well
例
as the，
我
entire
们
population
不
of
仅呢
1.4
参与了
Chinese people.
这场攻坚战的
The
全程
RCCK
特别是
participated
我们还
throughout
完
this
成
fight
了
against
党中
poverty.
央和国务院交给
In
我们的一
particular,
项对
we
口
accomplished
帮扶
a
的任务，
task entrusted
就是我
on
们
us by the CPC
对
Central
口
Committee
帮
and
扶
the
了
country.
贵州省
And that
毕节
is,
市纳
we
雍
were
县，
paired up
这个县有
with
109
纳雍
万，
County
是
of Guizhou Province in
苗族
poverty
彝
alleviation
族少数
assistance.
民族聚居的这
It
个
is
县
where，
也是全国出了名
Our
的
ethnic groups,
贫困
including
县。
Miao and Yi,
刚才我介绍
reside,
民革情况
and
的
it
时
is
候谈
also
到
a，
民革呢
poverty-stricken
在
county.
农村、农业、农民
As
这
I
3种
mentioned,
工作方面有专长
We。carry out
我
our
们把
work
我们
in 3
全
main
党的
fields,
这些
which
方面的
include
专家、
agriculture, rural areas, and
学者同志
farmers.
们，把他这个资
So we
源整合了一
pooled
下
our，resources
在
in this
3个
field,
方面，这个
and we went
精准
all
发力
out。to
一个
provide targeted
是
assistance.
坚持规划
First,
引领，
strengthening design.
纳雍县的乡
We
村
helped
振兴
improve the
示范点
design
的建设
of
规
rural
划。
revitalization demonstration
拆
areas
搭建，
in Nayong
就
County.
立足
We did not
村
take
庄
down
既有的
the
条
existing
件，建立
infrastructure.
美丽乡村。
Instead, our
同时呢
idea is to
强
build
化一
beautiful
些基础
villages
设施
based
和
on
公
the
共
existing
服务，
conditions.
包括
We
污
also
水的
strengthened
处理
infrastructure and
这
public
个垃圾的
services,
收集等
including
等，
sewage
打造
treatment
各
and
具特色的
collection of
乡
garbage.
村风貌。
In so doing,
这是
we
一方。
created
第二方面
distinctive
就是
features
注
of the
重
countryside.
产业兴农。
Second,
我
boosting
们注意啊，
industry.
扶持切合当
We
地实际
supported
的，而
projects
且
that
市场
suit
前景
local
比较好的，
realities
辐
and
射
have
带动力
good
强
market
的一
prospects,
些
which
农
could
业产业
generate
项目，
more
并且
opportunities
通过电商平
through
台、
such means
东
as
西部合作
e-commerce
对接
platforms
等形
and
式，
cooperation
大
between
力
Eastern
推
and
动
Western
前
China.
货出山，
We helped
走
bring
向
Guizhou's
广阔的
products
市场。
to the
很多
wider
农民群
market.
众就通过这种产业
A
扶
lot
持，
of the
就摆脱
local
了贫困。
farmers
第三个呢，就是
shook off
着力
poverty
科教助农，
through our
深入
endeavors.
开展专业
Third,
人才的培
enhancing
育、
education.
师资的
We
培训、
carried out
就学
programs
的资
in
助、
training
校
professionals
舍的
and
援建，
teachers,
包括我们还有
funded
一个
students,
中山
helped
博爱
build
基金
school
会，
buildings,
我们通过
and
基金会
organized
开办中山博爱夏令营
summer
等项目，
camps through the
变
Sun Yat-sen
输血
Fraternity
为
Foundation.
造血，增
Through
强
all these
纳雍
efforts,
县稳定
we
脱
helped
贫和
enhance
自
Nayong
我发展
County's
的
capacity
内生
of
动力。
self-driven
现在
development,
这个任务已
as
经
well
完
as
成
its
了，
ability
但是
to
我们
stay
还有
out
一句
of
话：
poverty.
纳雍不脱贫，我们肯定是不脱钩；
We
纳
will
雍脱了
continue
贫，
to assist
我们不
Nayong,
断线。我
even
们现在正
as
在
it
积
is
极
now
帮助
coming,
纳
it
雍
has come
百
out
万
of
人民
poverty. We
向
will work
乡
to
村
provide
振
further
兴的
assistance
这个
for
目
it
标在迈
as
进。
it advances
谢谢，我就
rural
介绍这么多。
revitalization. This is my answer. Thank you.
记者朋友，新冠
Friends
疫
from the
情
press,
对我国、对全球
the
都是
COVID-19
一个
pandemic
巨大的社会性的风险
is
挑
a
战。
great challenge for both China and the
这场
world.
世纪疫情
This once-in-a-century
对我国的经济
pandemic
社会、人民生活产
has
生了
had far-reaching impact
明显的影
on
响。
our economy and society and people's
在以
life.
习近平同志为核心的中央
The CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its
始
core,
终坚持人民
has
至上、生命
always
至上，
put people and their life first.
团结全国人民
It
同
has
心抗疫，
rallied and led the whole country
从抗
in
疫
fighting the
的武
virus.
汉保卫战
From
到
the
常
fight
态化
against
防疫
virus in Wuhan to
中央
fighting the
一
virus
直
across the
因时
country.
因势不断的优化调整防疫
The country
政策
has adjusted its COVID
高效统筹
protocols in a
疫
timely
情
manner
防控和经济社会
and
发展
effectively coordinated
成功
COVID
避免
response and economic
致病
development.
力较强、致死率较高的某
In the
些
past,
新
the
冠
virus
病毒毒
had
株的广泛流
a
行，
high fatality
有效地
and
保护了
infection rate, and it
人民
was
群众的生命安
prevented
全
from
和身体
spreading
健康。
to China, and thus people's
那
health
么
and
记者
life
朋
has
友可
been
能
well
从媒体
protected.
上也获悉一些消息。我们去年
Last
11月份
year,
大家很关注的，
in
那也有2
November,
亿多患者得到有效诊治，
Over
近80万重
200
症
million people
得
were
到有效治
treated.
疗。我们的相关的病死率也是在全球处于最低
And
的水平。
China's fatality rate of COVID-19 is
所以
at a
在
low level
中国共产党领导下
worldwide.
作为一个人口大国，
As a country with a big
我们在人类
population,
文明史上走出了一条
for
成
China
功的
to blaze
抗
a
击
successful path
疫情、
of fighting
流行病
COVID-19
对人类的袭击大流行的
is
一个奇迹。
a miracle.
那么我们目前整个经济情况是经济大盘稳，
And
就
now,
业物价稳，社会大
our
平衡，
economic
经济
development
增
is
长依
sound.
然处在全球各类经济
The
体
price
中的
level
最高位
is
水
also
平。
stable,
所以
and people are
中国
now
政府所
living
采取的
comfortably.
有关疫情防控的决策都是合理，
Every decision
正确。
about
得到了群众
the
的认可，
COVID-19
成效是
is
极大。
sound and solid
在这个
and
过
is
程中，
well recognized
中
by
国
the
民主
people.
党作为
In
生
this
于医药
process,
的
our
作为
party
主界别的财政党也积极
is
参
mainly
与了这个过
comprised
程。
of
我们主要
personnel
做了
from the
3方面
healthcare
工作。
sector, and we
坚定
participated
立
a
场，
lot
凝聚共识。
in fighting the virus.
我们在疫情
First,
发生的初期，中共党中央就迅速成立了疫情工
we
作领
have
导小组，
We stood firm in our stance and pulled extensive consensus. From the very start of the virus, we quickly established a leading group on COVID-19 and convened 34 meetings. We took concrete actions to follow on the decisions of the CPC Central Committee. Second, we made sound assessments and proposals based on science. Our proposals are made on a scientific basis for the reference of the State Council and the CPC Central Committee. We submitted 20 reports to the CPC Central Committee and the State Council and made proposals on COVID response at 13 symposiums with non-CPC figures. We made proposals at important junctures, offered predictions on key stages of COVID-19, and supported sound decision-making, thus making our unique contributions to the fight against the virus. Third, we made all-out efforts to fight the virus. In fighting the virus in Wuhan, nearly 30,000 members with our party affiliation joined the fight against the virus in Wuhan. And by the end of last year, over 60,000 party members donated 1.23 billion yuan in cash and in kind. This speaks volumes about their love for the people and the country. And our participation and contribution to the fight against the virus is highly recognized by the country. And on the new journey and in the new era, this embodies our brilliant chapter of dedication, devotion, and commitment to serving the country. Thank you.
Let me add to that and share my perspective on how non-CPC political parties can serve the central tasks of the country. Science and technology is the salient feature and advantage of the Jiusan society. So promoting science, technology, and innovation, SDI, is what our strength lies. Speeding up efforts to achieve greater self-reliance and strength in science and technology is a major strategic decision made by the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, and it is what is required to fulfill the central task. The Jiusan society is duty-bound to leverage our strength and perform our duty to serve the needs of the central task. I just want to give one example on achieving greater scientific and technological strength. In our research and studies, we have in recent years focused on how to enhance the innovation capabilities of businesses. For many years, you may have heard that businesses are the innovators. Since 2018, we have researched in many companies, and we found a lack of original motivation and investment in R&D in some companies. Because these two are very important factors in R&D. You need good talent, and you need sufficient and good input to enable innovation, especially among state-owned and central enterprises. Up until 3 to 4, 5 years ago, we saw that R&D input was less than 1% of their revenues. But for some private enterprises, for example, Huawei, their R&D input is high. So through further research, we found a small area of improvement, which is extra tax deduction on R&D expenses. This policy plays a very positive role in encouraging and supporting companies in stepping up R&D input, but in its implementation, there were problems of low coverage and low deduction rate, and other problems. So we decided to formulate proposals on how to strengthen this policy, as well as
its
那么在调研的基
implementation.
础上，我们还通过我们
In addition to our
93学社的
research,
科
we
学
also
座谈
conducted
会
analysis
等议
and
政平台
discussions
分析研讨，
through
经
our
过反复的
platforms,
分析研
including
究
the
以
science
多种
forums
协商渠道呢提出了
and
建议。
many other
在全国政协也提
channels,
交
and we
了
have put forward our
关于
proposals
强
through
化研
consultation
发费
channels,
用
including
加
our
计扣
proposal
除
at the
政策导
CPPCC
向
on
作用，
strengthening the
推动
incentivizing
企业
role of extra
开
tax
展基础研
deduction
究
on
和应用
R&D
研究的提
expenses
案，
and encouraging
对
basic
推动
research
相关
and
政策的
applied
出台呢
research,
提供了有益
which
的参
provides
考。
useful
那么
reference
相
for
关
the
政策的
rollout
实施
of
呢，有效
relevant
提升了企业加大研发投入的
policies
积极性。
and
大家可
implementation.
能注意到，今天上午李克
You
强
may have
总理的
noticed that in
在
the
政府
work
工作报告中
report
有一段
of the
话，
government this morning,
就是过去几
Premier
年
Li
不断
Keqiang
提高
mentioned
企业研发费用加计
that
扣除比
there
例
has been an，
将制
increase
造业企业、
in the
科技型中
deduction
小企业
rates
分别从50%、75%提高至100%，并阶段性扩大到所有适用
And the
行业，
rate
对
was
企业投入基础
raised
研
from
究
50 to
购置科研设备
60 to
给予
75 and
政
then
策
to
支
100%.
持，各类支持创新的
There
税
were
收优
various
惠政
types
策
of
年度规
supportive
模
policies
已超过
to
万亿元。
increase the scale
企业研发投入保持
10
2位数的增
trillion
长
yuan，
一大批创新企业脱颖
encouraging
而
many
出。
businesses
所
to
以这
stand
项
out
政
as
策的实施呢，
innovators.
确实发挥了
You
非
can
常积极
see
的作用。大家
the
注意
good
到前一
results
段
of such
公布的这
policies.
个我们国家在研发投入上
As you can see in the statistics about China's R&D input, which totaled more
那
than
么另外呢，我
3
们近年
trillion.
来93学社还积极发挥人才智力
And
的
we
优势，
have also
更加
tapped
紧密地服务
into
于
our
国家
intellectual
创新驱
strength
动
to
战略
better
的实
serve
施，
the
直接为
implementation
地
of the
方经济社
innovation-driven
会发展
development strategy and serve
的中心
local
任务
economic
服务。
and social development
我们先后
directly.
与海南、内蒙、
We
安
paired
徽、
up
河南、宁夏等省
Hainan,
区
Inner Mongolia,
签
Anhui,
订了
and
有关
Henan
推
and
动
other
科技创
places
新的战略合作协议。
for STI
目
cooperation
前呢，也都取得了一些成绩。我们还将继续
projects,
努力
and there have
拓展
been
合作深度和广度，
some achievements,
将
and
我
we
们的
will
所长
continue
与
to
经济社
expand
会
the
发展
depth
的中
and
心
breadth
大
of our
局的所需
cooperation
呢，
so as to
紧密地结合
contribute
起来，
our share in
贡
serving
献我们
the
的
central
力量。
tasks of the country.
谢谢这位记者的提问。
Thank you for your question.
感谢郑建邦主席、
Thank you,
各位
Mr.
主席、
Zheng
吴伟华
Jianbang,
主席
Mr. He Wei, and
也
Mr.
请
Wu
各位
Weihua.
主席啊，在接下来回答问题的时候呢，把握好这个时间。
And I hope you keep your eye on the time when you answer questions. The floor is now open for questions.
请南区第3排靠过道的那位女记者提问。
谢谢主持人，我是中国日报的记者。受相关因素影响，我国一些民营企业在过去几年面临比较大的发展压力。新的形势下，提振民营企业发展信心，对稳预期、推动中国经济加快恢复提升十分重要。想请问高云龙主席，全国工商联在这个方面有哪些举措，支持民营企业提振信心、更好发展？如何帮助民营企业走向更广阔的舞台？谢谢。
China Daily. Some private firms have come under relatively big pressure over the past years due to various factors. Under the new circumstances, shoring up confidence for private businesses is critical to stabilize expectation and underpin a faster economic rebound. My question goes to Chairperson Gao Yunlong. What measures will the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce take to build up the confidence of private firms and better serve their development? What will the Federation do to create more opportunities for them? Thank you.
首先我说，我非常赞同您这个观点啊，
I
就是
agree with you
国
very
家的经
much
济要快速的发展，
that for the
那么就
economy
有
to grow,
提振
it
整个
is
市场的信
important
心，
to boost
就有
the
提振
confidence of the
民营
market
企业家的信心。
and the confidence of private
那么
entrepreneurs.
提振民营企业家的信心啊，关键呢，
To
它
boost
是可以
their
把这
confidence,
个提高
the key
民营
is
企业
to
对
raise
市场的预
private
期，
enterprises'
那么他们呢就会加大投入。
expectations.
就
Then
会促进
the
这个
entrepreneurs
经济的
will
增
step
长。
up in investment
那么对
and
全
the
国工商联
economy
来
will
讲
grow.
呢，
For the
那么我们
ACFIC,
也是按照总
we
书记
have
啊
followed
在中央经济工作会议
General
上的
Secretary
要
Xi
求，
Jinping's
也是
requirements
多措
at
并
the
举
Central
吧，
Economic
也是
Work
想出一些招
Conference
来。
and made
那么第一个方面呢，
multiple
我们还
measures
是
in
就
this
是促
regard.
进，就
First,
制定
we have worked
支持民营企业的
to promote
这
the
个政策，
formulation
加大政府
of
的
supportive
支持力
policies
度。那么让这个惠企的政
so
策
that these
能够
policies will deliver real benefits to the
大家知道了，这个民营
businesses.
企业家
You know, private
比较
businesses
多我们现在呢
are
有
large in
500多万
numbers.
会员，我们有
We have a membership of
3000 多
over
个工商联的这个
500,000,
县级以上的组织，
5 million,
还有3万多个商会，所
and
以
there
说
are
我们呢可以及时
30,000
的
chambers of commerce.
通过各种渠道，当然
So
也
we
包
have
括
various
通过网
channels,
上来进行调查的方式，
including online
及时的来
channels,
掌握这个民营企业
to
存在的一些
understand
问题
the
出现什
problems
么问题，
facing
把这些问
private
题，
enterprises,
把这些困难梳
and
理
to
完了以后
communicate
给
these
建议
problems
那么通过呢，这个有的时候
to
是
the
这个
government
信息专报，有的时候
through
呢是
direct
参加
reporting
总书记
mechanisms
或者总理的一些这个协商
and
会，
during some
有的时
consultative
候呢是通过这个
meetings hosted
季度
by
的经济形势分析
leaders.
会，当然的话呢，也有的情况之下呢，通过提
And
案的形式，
sometimes we are
把这
also
些问题的话
utilizing
呢
other
提给党
channels
和政府，那么促进他们
to
及
put
时
forward
的
our
出台
proposals
支持民营企业发展的政策。
so as to facilitate the
当然
rollout
事实上来
of
讲
such
呢
supportive
这个
policies.
像
In fact,
发改委
the
财
NDRC,
政
the
部
Ministry of
工信部
Finance,
科技
the
部出台
Ministry
的一些
of
政策，大家都知
Industry
道
and
了，去年
Information
的包括这
Technology
个
and Ministry of Science
减
and
税
Technology
降费
have
的
put
政策
forward a number of tax and fee
降
cuts
准
policies,
降
the
息的这些政策，
required reserve
包括一些
ratio
这个
cuts
课题
and
项目的一
interest
些
rate
政策
cuts and
价
other
值扣除等等，
supportive
这些的话呢
policies.
我们工商联都有参与。
And for these
有的是事
policies,
先
the
提的建议
CPPCC has
有的的话呢
been
是中间
consulted
呢
and
有
put
会
forward
下有协商
proposals.
所以说要积极的促进，就是要从政策上
That is how we
出台
play
政
our
策来
role
支持
in
民营企业
terms
的发展
of
这是从大
facilitating
的方面来
policies,
讲政治是第一优先的嘛
because
政策就要
policies
出台了
are
民营
most
企业的经济
important.
增强
When there are
出台
good
了这些
policies,
政策
the
以后，那
private
么第二
sector
个
will
呢
grow.
有的企业的话，因为现在有
And
这个将近5000万家民营企业了，对吧？
we have 50
1.7
million
亿个市场主体
enterprises in our
了，大家
membership.
不一定都了解得到。那么工商
And
联呢就利
sometimes
用
they may
刚刚我
not
说
be
的我们
able
这么
to
大的一个
understand
一个渠道
policies on time. So we are using all kinds of channels we have
这个
to
培
give
训，让大家
training
都能了解这些政策。把这些政策的话
to
呢
bring these
了
policies
解这
to
些
their
政策
attention
了解到那大众方针
so they
了
know
解
what
当
the
时的
policies
这
are,
个形与
what
势
the benefits
使他
are,
们能做出一种科学的判
so
断。
they will come to
当然这些政
well-conceived
策确定完
decisions.
了，他们知道了以后，我们还要干什么呢？
And
要
after that,
督促
we will
地方的
encourage
部门把这些
local
政策
departments
落到实处，
to implement
要
these
实现政策，要
policies
让民营企业呢都能享受到。
so that the
当然我们
private
也提了很多建
businesses
议
will enjoy the
包括这
benefits,
个最早我们提的这个一些财政补贴的
including on
这个
some
指导机制之类的
financial subsidies
都是
and
都
other
见到很好的
policies.
效果。所以这是第一个方面，从政策方
We
面。
have done
那么第二
exactly
个方
that.
面呢，就是要优化
And next, we are working to improve the environment for
那么
businesses to
让企业
grow
呢能够降低
so
社会运
that
行的成本。
the social cost will be reduced for
一
enterprises.
个嘛，当然就是政策环境。
In terms of
就是
policy
通过各种
environment,
建言议政的
we are
渠道
making
啊
all kinds
把
of
这个
met
政策环
channels
境
for
能够优
making
化包括
proposals,
刚刚呢我说的那
including
些
the ones I mentioned just now.
那么还有一个呢，我们自己搞了个万家民营企业评议
And
上
we
环境
have
这样一个
a
大的活动，坚持了好多年了。可能有
mass
的记者
survey
呢都
of
知道，
business
现在各个
environment,
省里
which
面，
we
包括我
have
到各个省里
been
面去
doing that for
这
many
个下列调
years.
研的时候，书记啊、省长啊，
So we
包
go
括那
to
部门
all
啊
kinds of
都
private
一见经
enterprises.
常说这个，就说
And
这个
when we are meeting with
万
local
家民营企业评议上
leaders,
环
they
境啊，我
often
们
talk
评了
about
多少
that.
啊？我们评了第几名啊？这里
And they
边
will
的话
tell
发
us
生了
their
什么问题
rankings in the
哪个方
survey
面怎么促进？
and the measures they will be taking to
地方
improve.
有的省里边，它在
In
市
some
里边有这个
provinces,
评比，
there are even
它把这政策环境
prefecture level ranking competitions.
那第二个呢，就是这个
And the second
市
aspect
场环境。市场环境呢，
is
我们就通过各种
marketing
这个
environment.
建议，对吧？
We are putting forward
减少
proposals to
限制民营
reduce
企业发展的一些领
the
域、
restrictions
一些范围。
about businesses'
包括
entry
有的
into
时候
certain
有的
sectors.
地方上面的政策都要求是国有企业民
Sometimes
营企
there
业
are
有一定的
requirements
但是呢，它
for
在实际的
such
操作的
entry
过程中，
that's
有的
about
时候
their
呢还有
ownership,
些不大公平的地方。那
but
这个
there
呢
are
我
some
们就促进他们
fairness problems in this regard, and we are working and contributing our share
形成公平竞争，
to promote fair
要有
play
一个好的一个市场环境，
and
这样促进
foster
民营企业的发展。
a good business
第
environment.
三个方面呢，就是
And third
这
aspect
个社会舆论环境，
is
包括
public
我们各位媒体啊、的记者，我
and
们各位
that
媒
is
体的
something
同志
concerning
就是
friends
怎么
from
来
the
把握
media
这样的一个社
and
会
how
环境。
do
民
we
营企
steer public opinion.
当然呢，刚刚说了，
Private enterprises are making important contributions to the development of the country, but there are problems in this process, and how do we steer public opinion and focus on the mainstream? That is an important area of work. If some enterprises are contributing, for example, to charitable causes, promoting local development, for example, there is a top 500 private businesses press conference. It is incumbent on the press to spread these good practices, to cultivate good public opinion, because we don't want a negative social environment. And third, legal environment. We are working with the Supreme People's Court, Supreme People's Procuratorate, the Ministry of Public Security, and Ministry of Justice to do a good job in ensuring the success of the summit on rule of law construction in the private sector, to protect the rule of law in the business environment, to instill that mindset in private enterprises and entrepreneurs. Through all these efforts, we are working to improve the various aspects of the business environment. And the third point is we are taking solid steps to help business resolve problems, so that they will feel the warmth and be relieved of their burdens. At the industry and commerce federations at all levels, make it their central task to help private firms resolve difficulties. For example, in terms of investment and financing, we would be providing services. And in their operation, there may be some problems, and we will step in to coordinate. And in terms of financing, the cost and accessibility of financing is a problem, so we would help facilitate the interest rate cuts. And build bridges between banks and enterprises. Sometimes we target our efforts to poverty reduction, but in the whole, we are helping at the provincial, prefecture, and county level to help those businesses resolve their difficulties. And in terms of science, technology, and innovation, we are facilitating them in setting up projects and other aspects. So we are making concrete measures and efforts. In the future, we will continue our work to improve our services and explore new ways of providing services and support, encourage, and facilitate private enterprises as if we are their family, and support their long-term and sound development, so that private firms will embrace a bigger stage. Thank you.
请中区第一排这位男记者提问。
谢谢主持人，各位主席，下午好，我是中央广播电视总台央视的记者。今天的我的问题呢是提给民建中央主席郝明金先生的。紧密联系经济界是民建的特色优势。我们也注意到，郝明金主席曾经多次讲到过，要聚焦国之大者。 要充分地运用现代信息技术的手段来拓展调研的方式，来提高调研的广度、深度和精度，从而全面地提升建言资政的能力和质量。所以在这里，我们想请问您，在助力中央重要决策部署和国家重大发展战略的过程当中，民建是如何真正地体现您提到的广度、深度和精度的？谢谢。
China Central Television. My question goes to Chairperson Hao Mingjing. The China National Democratic Construction Association is known for its close ties with the economic sector. I recall on many occasions, Chairperson Hao Mingjing has highlighted the need to keep in mind what's important for the country, explore more ways of doing research, including with the use of modern information technology, increase the width, depth, and precision of research work so as to make more effective proposals on state affairs. My question is, in helping to deliver on the major decisions of the CPC Central Committee and China's major development strategies, what has the association done to conduct in-depth, wide-ranging, and precise research? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. The China National Democratic Construction Association indeed has close ties with the economic sector, and we have always closely followed China's economic development. In the past 5 years, our Central Committee has followed the guidance of Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, and pursued an approach of focusing on the central tasks, serving the big picture interests, leveraging our strengths, and fully performing our duties. We have given play to our advantages in the economic sector, our organizational strengths, and the expertise of our members, and we have worked to better fulfill our responsibilities and make more effective proposals on state affairs. Over the past 5 years, keeping in mind the country's most fundamental interests, and in line with the major decisions of the CPC Central Committee, the country's major development strategies, the guiding principles of the annual Central Economic Work Conferences, and the key points in the government work reports, we have carried out in-depth studies and actively contributed our input regarding critical issues of strategic, big-picture, and long-term importance. In keeping with the main theme of promoting high-quality economic development, our Central Committee carried out research and studies on building the Hainan Free Trade Port with Chinese characteristics, accelerating the integrated development of advanced manufacturing and modern services, boosting the modernization of industrial chains, building a unified national market for smooth domestic circulation, and cultivating specialized and sophisticated enterprises with new and unique products and promoting common prosperity. Our principle is no proposal without studies. Despite COVID-19, our central and local committees work together to carry out studies both online and on-site through meetings, visits, surveys, and various other means. In the process, we steadily broadened and expanded the scope of our studies. Let me give you an example. For several years straight, we followed the development of the Hainan Free Trade Port and Pilot Free Trade Zone. In 2018, following the new leadership's election, we visited Hainan and Shanghai to look at building free trade ports with Chinese characteristics. We sat down with officials of the local CPC committee and government and had exchanges with local businesses, officials, and the general public. In 2019, for a study on building Hainan into an international tourism consumption center, we again visited the province. We held meetings, and studied the ports, tourist resources, and infrastructure on site, and learned about how port resources are consolidated and tourism consumption demands are boosted. In 2021, for a study on building a network of high-standard pilot free trade zones, we visited Zhejiang and Shanxi. Multiple meetings were held, and on-site visits paid to high-tech zones, comprehensive bonded zones, international trade city, and innovative enterprises, from which we learned about the development of pilot free trade zones in eastern and western China. In addition, more than 20 of our provincial-level committees assisted us by carrying out studies and submitting reports on the development of pilot free trade zones in their local areas. On the basis of research, study, and solicitation of opinions, we produced multiple high-quality pieces of work with good outcomes. Over the past few years, we submitted to the CPC Central Committee reports on advancing China's free trade zones, building Hainan into an international tourism consumption center, promoting coordinated development among Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei's free trade zones, and promoting high-quality development of pilot free trade zones. The reports received written instructions from leaders of the CPC Central Committee. Our suggestions contributed to the introduction of China's Hainan Free Trade Port Law and relevant policies, to the coordinated high-quality development of free trade zones, and to comprehensively deepening reform and high-standard opening up. In September 2018, the State Council issued the overall plan for China-Hainan Pilot Free Trade Zone. In June 2020, the CPC Central Committee and the State Council issued the overall plan for the construction of Hainan Free Trade Port. In June 2021, the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress adopted China's Hainan Free Trade Port Law. Measures on investment facilitation in the pilot free trade zones were also introduced. Our suggestions are reflected in all the above-mentioned documents, laws, and policies. It shows that our research have provided important reference for the informed decisions made by the CPC and the government. Going forward, we will give full play to our ties with the economic sector, take innovative approaches to carry out research and studies in line with the major decisions of the CPC in the country, and contribute our views. We will continue to advise, assist, and work with the CPC and play our part in upholding, developing, and improving the system of CPC-led multi-party cooperation and political consultation, and in building a modern socialist country in all respects. Thank you.
请中区第5排男记者。
谢谢主持人。人民日报记者提问。我们大家都知道，民主监督是民主党派的一项基本职能。那么我们也注意到，从2021年开始，各民主党派围绕长江生态环境保护开展了专项民主监督，这是为期5年的专项民主监督。那么到现在为止呢，已经过去了将近2年时间。我想请问的是，丁仲礼主席，目前我们民盟在这项民主监督工作中进展如何？发现了哪些急需解决的问题？然后，在您看来，民主党派的民主监督是不是切实有效的？谢谢。
People's Daily. A basic function of non-CPC political parties is to exercise democratic oversight. We've noted that in 2021, the Central Committees of non-CPC political parties launched a 5-year oversight program on ecological conservation along the Yangtze River. My question goes to Chairperson Ding Zhongli. Under this program, what progress has been made in the past 2 years? What issues have come to your attention that need to be addressed? And from your point of view, has democratic oversight been proven solid and effective? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. I will try to be brief. Indeed, 2 years ago, we began our work on democratic oversight of ecological conservation along the Yangtze River. This is a very noble task entrusted upon us by the CPC Central Committee. As you know, the Yangtze River is very long, and after we received the task, each party received 1 or 2 provinces, which are in a paired-up relationship with us. And for the China Democratic League, we are paired up with Yunnan Province, which is in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River. You asked about what work we have done so far. Well, to elaborate, first we have carried out extensive research and studies in accordance with the law, the Yangtze River Protection Law, adopted by the National People's Congress. We identified some 600 points of oversight, and we have found points where our work is most needed, around 770 of them. This means we have identified where the risks are concentrated. After this, we assigned the tasks to members of the Central Committee and the Yunnan local committees of the China Democratic League, including in the counties and the cities. So we have an accountability system in place. Second, we developed an information exchange and communication system. It is a digital platform. So through this platform, the relevant departments within the China Democratic League can have timely communication with other relevant parties. Wherever the problem occurs, we can identify the problem and point it out. It can also show us the progress of our work at each point of supervision or oversight. And third, because we have many experts in the field of environmental protection, we decided to not just exercise oversight, but to provide our warm assistance. As you know, Yunnan province could use more support in technology, so we brought together our academicians and experts to provide technological assistance to Yunnan regarding the key issues, such as the protection of our high, identifying who should be responsible for the pollution there. For such issues, we brought together the academicians and experts to provide consultation and assistance. This is regarding the work we have done. As for what issues that need to be addressed, well, there are quite a few. We do face a number of challenges. I personally feel that there are 4 hard nuts to crack, so to speak. First, some urban pipelines are worn out. For instance, you know the pollution of the Dianchi Lake. The government has invested a lot to treat the pollution, but the water quality is still below the level for tap water. And this has to do with the worn-out urban pipelines. The pollutants could seep through groundwater and pollute the lake. So this is a major issue. The second issue, as you know, has to do with phosphorus. Phosphorus ore. From phosphorus ore, there is the phosphogypsum pollution, which can pollute the Yangtze River water. We are still facing the difficult issue of treating this type of pollution. And because farmland is scarce and precious in Yunnan, we also need to address the issue of agricultural pollution from non-point sources. And fourth, it has to do with the natural conditions in Yunnan. Phosphorus pollution in the highland lakes. I'm speaking from a geologist's expertise here. The exchange of water with the highland lakes comes at a relatively low rate, so it is hard to achieve the cleansing of the lakes and to address the phosphorus pollution. This poses quite a huge challenge for the ecological environment. Today, Premier Li Keqiang also mentioned in the government work report that we face quite a task ahead in ecological conservation, and we need to provide more support and invest more in helping Yunnan province. Your third question is about whether democratic oversight has proven solid and effective. Well, in my understanding, it has to do with who provides the supervision and who is supervised. Regarding the supervisor, we need to ensure that their oversight is concrete, that they both identify the problems, help address the problems, and applaud the progress made. As for the one being supervised, we need to determine whether they have taken seriously the opinions and suggestions provided by the non-CPC political parties. The China Democratic League has exercised oversight of poverty alleviation in Henan, as well as ecological conservation along the Yangtze River. My impression is the local governments have attached great importance to our work. So as long as we carry out our work thoroughly, I think the democratic oversight is solid and effective.
其中问一个问题，不要一问多提啊。请举手。请北区第3排靠过道的那位女记者。
谢谢主持人。新华社记者提问：我们知道5年前的全国两会期间，习近平总书记提出了新型政党制度的概念。中共20大报告也提出发挥我国社会主义新型政党制度优势。请问郑建邦主席，您认为我们应当如何理解和认识新型政党制度？如何通过工作实践进一步彰显新型政党制度的优势？谢谢。
Xinhua News Agency. The concept of a new type of political party system was first put forward by General Secretary Xi Jinping during China's NPC and CPP sessions 5 years ago. The report to the 20th CPC National Congress also pointed out the need to leverage the strengths of China's new type of socialist political party system. My question goes to Chairperson Zheng Jianbang. How should we understand this system? And how can we better bring out its strengths? Thank you.
这位记者朋友提的问题，我认为非常好。
I think this is an excellent question. In modern times,
前辈的志士仁人们
dedicated patriots in China
中国现代
sought
化
a
的道
path
路
of modernization.
曾经尝试过
They once
在中
tried
国
to
搞什么
implement
议会政治和
parliamentarianism
我是
and multi-party
湖南
system
常德
in
人，
China.
我们
I
常
come
德
from Changde
有一位
of
著
Hunan
名的
province,
乡贤，这个大概在座的
and a
年轻的
very
朋友们都
important
知道
figure，
叫宋教
from my hometown is Song
他在
Jiaoren.
上个世纪初的时候
At the
号称
beginning
是
of the
中
20th
国
century,
宪政之父，是中
he
国
was
国民党
known
的
as
核
the
心人。
father of China's
他领导中国国民党
parliamentarism.
在北洋势力控制下的国会当中取得了压倒性的多数。
He
他以为他能当国
achieved
务总理，
an overwhelming
结果
majority
很快被北
in
洋
the
当局
then government, but he was
死的时候
soon
才
assassinated.
32岁。
He was only 32
所
years
以
old when he
那
died.
个时候，我们前辈们探索的要走西
You
方
can
的这个
see
道路，
from this
被
example
实践证明行
that
不通。
these models that our
孙中山先生
forefathers
在
tried to
沉
copy
痛
from
地
Western
总结
countries
这一段历史
did
的时
not
候，
work.
曾经讲过一段非常
Mr.
慷慨
Sun
的话。
Yat-sen concluded
中国几千年以来的这个
that
社会上的民情、风土
China's
习惯
people and their
和
culture
欧
and
美
customs over
大不相同。
thousands of years are
中
vastly
国社会
different from
既
those
然
of
和
Western
欧美
countries.
不同，所以
Since our
管理
society is
社
different
会
from
的政
theirs,
治
the
也应
political
该
system
和
for
欧
running
美不
society
同。
should also be different.
但是，既然不同，该怎么办呢？不知道
But。what path
直
should
到
we take?
1921年，中国共产党
Then
成立以
came
后
the，founding of the CPC
中国共产
in
党
1921.
在团结带领包括
The
中国的
CPC
民主党
rallied
派
and
在内
led
的全中国人民，在谋
all the
求
Chinese
人
people,
民解
including
放
the
和
non-CPC
国家
political
富
parties,
强的这个
in pursuing
斗争当中，
national
逐步
liberation
地
and prosperity for
探
the
索出
country.
在中国
And in
实
this
行
endeavor,
由中国共产党领导的
it gradually
多党
arrived
合
at
作和
the
政治
system
协商制
of
度，
CPC-led
应该是一个
multi-party
既符合
cooperation
国情
and
又
political consultation,
顺乎民意的这
which
么一个
suits
好的
China's
政治
national
制度。
conditions
现在
and
看
meets the
70多年
aspirations
过
of
去
the
了，
people.
这个政党制度确实
Now,
有它
looking
的
back,
独特的优越性。
this political
大家
party
看看，
system
我们中
indeed
国
has
有
its
历史很悠久，
distinctive
中华文
strengths.
明5000多年，
China has a long
人口
history,
众多，
a huge
民
population,
族也多，
and we are a
56
multi-ethnic
56
country
个民族，
with
一个大家
56
庭。
ethnic
这个
groups.
社会呢，它存在着各个阶层、
There are
各个
various
行业
social strata,
和各个团
sectors,
体，
and groups.
大家的共同的目标是一致的，
The people
但
have
是
a
有
common
很多
goal,
具体的
but
意见和
diverse opinions
叫诉求，
and
这是有
demands.
多样性。那么新型的政党制度，我
And
们
this
强
new
调
type of political
中
party
国
system
共产党的领导，
emphasizes
就是这个国家它有
the
一个主
CPC
心骨，
leadership.
有一个领导我们前进的核心的力量。
There is a
同
central
时呢，
force
也
that leads
强调
us on
要
the journey
发
ahead.
扬社会主义民主。
Meanwhile, it also
我们现
places
在讲叫
emphasis
落
on
实
socialist
全过
democracy,
程人民民主，
or what we now call
切实做到什么呢？
implementing whole
有事儿
process people's
多商量，
democracy,
有事儿
to
好商
ensure
量，
that
有事儿
issues are
会商量。
and can be addressed
包
through
括
sufficient
民主
consultations.
党，包括我们民革在内的8个民主党派
The
和
8
全国工商
non-CPC
联，我们
political
通过
parties
参
and the
政
All
议政、
China
民
Federation of
主
Industry
监
and
督，
Commerce
参加中国共产
can
党领导的
participate in
政
and
治
deliberate
协
on
商，
state affairs,
能够及
exercise
时地
democratic
各方
oversight,
面的意见
and
汇
participate
集
in
起来，
CPC-led political
提
consultations.
供给中共中央决策层做决
Through
策的
these
参考，这样就能够
efforts,
形成一个
we can
强大
pull
的
the
国家
wisdom
治
and
理
strength of
合力。
various sides
刚
and
才我讲
form
了，在建国
strong
70多年
synergy for
我
state
们这个国
governance.
家能够保持社会的长期稳定，
China
经济的
has
持续
maintained
的发展。
long-term social
我个人
stability
认为
and economic
我们
growth
这个
over more
新型
than
的
7
政党制
decades.
度
And I
应
think
该是说
that
发挥了
our political
非常重要
our
的作用。
political system has
习总书记
provided
啊
important
讲过，他说我
contribution.
们靠团结奋斗
As General Secretary Xi
创
Jinping
造了
pointed out,
辉煌的历史，还要靠
by striving in
团
unity,
结
we
奋斗
created
开
splendid
辟
history.
美好的未来。
We must continue to
去年
strive in
年底
unity to create
我
a
们
brighter
8个民主
future.
党派，包括我们民革在内，
At
都
the
换
end of
届了。
last year,
换届以后啊，
our
我们民革的新一届
8
领导班
non-CPC political parties
认真学
embraced
习贯
new
彻
leading
中共
bodies.
20大的这个精神，我们
We
规划了
have
我们今后一个时期的
studied
工作，
the guiding principles
我
of
们
the
的主要的
20th
打算是
CPC National
4个
Congress
方面，
and made
一个
plans
是把好
in the following 4
政治方
areas.
向，
First
这个
is
政
to
治方
keep
向
to
是
the
什么？
right political
就是更
orientation,
新我们民革前辈们
which is to carry
和
forward
中国共产党人合舟共济、团结奋斗
the fine
这个
tradition
优良传统。
of solidarity
同时，
and hard work
在
together with the
新时代
CPC.
要在以习近平同志为核
And
心
to
的
follow
中共中央的领导下，
The leadership of the CPC Central
向着
Committee, with
中国
Comrade
式
Xi Jinping
现代
at its
化
core,
实现中华民族伟大复兴这样一个目标
in advancing toward
和
Chinese
中国共
modernization
产党想
and
在一
the
起，
goal of
站在一起。
achieving the
干在
great rejuvenation of the Chinese
这是一
nation.
个方面。
In so doing,
第二个方面
we
是
must
强化
work
自身
together
素
with the
质。
CPC and always stand with
参
it.
政党它也是一个政党，
Secondly,
是个党派。
We need to enhance
你要履
self-improvement.
行好自己的职责，
As a
必须
political
以一个
party, authority in order to better perform our duties. We need to constantly improve
要
ourselves.
对表
Going
建
forward,
设高水平的中国
we
特色
will
社会
work
主义参政
to
这一个标准，
participate in state
努力加
governance
强
at high
民国自身
standards
的政治建设、
and
思想
step
建
up
设、
improvement
组织建设。
in terms
第
of
三个方面
our
就是要
political
切
orientation,
实提
our
高
organization,
民革
etc.
的履职能力。
Third,
你这个
we will take
合作
concrete steps to
参政党这个
better perform
和共产
our
党在一
duties.
起，团结合作，发挥自己的作用。首先，
How
这
can
个
we
核心的
better
就
leverage
是要
our role
你有一个
in
比
working
较
with the
高的
CPC?
履职能力。
We need to have
所以
great
我们在这
competence
方面呢，
in our discharge
要
of
紧紧的
responsibilities.
围绕着我们民革的刚才讲的这个社会和司法、
So
社会和法治、促进祖国统一、
we should
三农等这个重点领域持续发力。
continue to
还有做好
exert
专
ourselves
项的
in
民
the
主
three
监
main
督
areas I
刚才
mentioned in the opening
丁仲礼
remarks,
主席介
and
绍
to
了民革的
exercise
工作情况
sound
民革的工作
democratic
情况
oversight,
我们民革
as
是
Chairperson
负责
Ding Zhongli
湖北这
just
一段
mentioned.
长江的这个
We
生态的
are
这个专
in
项治理
charge
任
of
务也
the
很重，
Hubei
一定把这
section
个工作
of the
做好。
oversight over Yangtze River
是
ecological
要
conservation,
树立
and we will
规律
strive
意
to
识。
do our work well.
你一个党派，
Fourth,
无论是执政党
we
还
will
是参
strengthen
政党
our，sense of
都要
discipline.
有纪律，都要
Every
讲规矩
party
你这个
needs
党，你才能像
sound
个样子
discipline
才能不负
in
历史
order
和人民的
to
重托。
behave in a
民
manner
革在这方面
befitting its
要坚持
status.
以党为师，要端正民革的
And we
党风
will
政
continue
风，
to
切
strengthen
实
our
的
conduct
履行好民革作为一个
in
参政
order
党的那样的社会的
to
责任和社会的形
fulfill
象。
our social
我就介绍这么多
responsibilities
谢
and
谢。
live up to our
谢谢
image.
郑建邦主
Thank
席
you.，
请继续提问。请中区第一排那位戴眼镜儿的女记者。
谢谢主持人。中央广播电视总台国广记者，我的问题是提给致公党中央主席蒋作军。我们看到有统计数据显示，近35年，全球华侨华人的数量增长了近1.6倍，目前约有6000万人。那么，想请问蒋作军主席，作为联系海外华侨华人的民主党派，致公党是如何发挥自身优势，凝聚侨胞力量，来为国家发展和促进中外民间友好交流做贡献的？然后，请您主要介绍一下开展的工作。谢谢。
China Radio International. My question goes to Chairperson Jiang Zuojun. Data show that the number of overseas Chinese now stands at around 60 million, an increase of 1.6-fold over the past 35 years. The China Zhigong Party has long maintained close bonds with overseas Chinese. My question is, what has your party done in leveraging its ties with overseas Chinese and pooling their strengths for China's development and for closer people-to-people friendship and cooperation between China and other countries? What are the main work that has been conducted? Thank you.
感谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question and for your interest in the China
正
Zhigong
像你开始
Party.
介绍致公党那样，
As I said in my opening
致公党呢，
remarks, the China
它
Zhigong
是具有
Party
侨海这个
was
背景，
established
所以我
overseas,
们的履职
and
呢也
it
注重
has
发挥
overseas backgrounds.
侨海特色。
When performing our
早在
duties, we pay attention to
1949
tapping
年
into our strengths in
9
this
月
regard.
21日，在全
On
国
September 21st,
政协第一次
1949, at the
全
first
体会上，
plenary session
致
of
公
the
党呢就递
CPPCC,
交了
the China Zhigong Party
由
submitted
中
a
央人民政
proposal
府
on
研
the
究
central
和实
government's
行
research
顾侨
on
政
and
治案，
implementation of
这
policies
是人民
for the
政协历
protection
史上
of
第
overseas
一份
Chinese.
党派
It was
团
the
体
first
提案，
proposal by a
也是
non-CPC
致
party
公党
in
体
CPPCC's
现侨
history,
海特色、为侨服务的
one that
第一份提
reflected
案。
the Zhigong Party's
我再举一个
overseas
近些的
perspective
例
and
子
mission of serving
在座
overseas
的
Chinese.
记者朋友
And
可能都看到过，
another example,
在去年
as you may have seen
北京展览馆
last year at
举
the
办的
Beijing
奋
exhibition
进
hall,
新时代主题
there was an
成就奖
exhibition
上
themed Forging
就展
Ahead
出
in
了
the New
我
Era.
们致公党
There
支
was
援
a Zhigong
海外
health
侨
kit
胞抗击新冠
that our
疫情
party
的
sent
致
to
公
overseas
爱心小
Chinese
包裹啊。
to
这里
help
是有故
fight
事的。
COVID-19.
2020年初呢，
When COVID-19 struck China in 2020, many overseas Chinese and students donated masks and ventilators through the Zhigong Party, and some of them also contributed treatments for COVID-19. When over 200 countries and regions were hit by the coronavirus, the Zhigong Party, with its extensive overseas links, took swift steps to help overseas Chinese tackle COVID-19. And one of that efforts was to carry out the Health Kit project.
这个爱心小包裹，当时呢，我们向68个国家，200多个这个华侨华人社团
We sent over 13,000 health kits to more than 200 Chinese associations in 68 countries, bringing them the warmth of the motherland.
那么，2012年，习近平总书记在走访致公党中央机关时。
In 2012, General Secretary Xi Jinping came to the Zhigong Party headquarters and expressed his hope that the Zhigong Party will make full use of its overseas links. We have followed the requirements and scored new achievements in leveraging our advantages to bring together the wisdom and strength of overseas Chinese to serve China's overall development. We have worked with overseas Chinese to better tell China's stories, forged consensus and synergy in overseas Chinese community, built platforms to serve Chinese students returning to China, and facilitated Belt and Road cooperation by conveying the difficulties facing Chinese and overseas Chinese invested companies when going global. We have also encouraged and supported overseas Chinese in contributing to the country they live in. For example, the Chinese community in Cebu, the Philippines, is known for 3 things: voluntary firefighting services, free clinics, and Chinese schools, which are highly welcomed by locals. We saw such welcome during our trip there. And these 3 things are the key to the Chinese community's efforts to integrate with the local community and thus contributing to local development. So far, the Zhigong Party has built friendly ties with nearly 400 Chinese groups and organizations in more than 70 countries and regions across the world. Standing at the new historical starting point, we will uphold our fine traditions as we have done in the past, give full play to our advantage in overseas connections, act as a participant and witness in pursuing the Chinese dream of national rejuvenation, and make new accomplishments on the new journey toward our country's second centenary goal. Thank you.
请继续提问。请中区第3排，靠右边的这位女记者提问。
谢谢主持人，各位主席好，我是人民政协报全媒体记者。中共20大报告指出，推进健康中国建设，把保障人民健康放在优先发展的战略地位。我想请问何伟主席，作为以医药卫生为主要界别特色的参政党，农工党是如何发挥自身优势，服务健康中国建设，参与到中国式现代化的进程当中的？谢谢。
CPPCC Daily, the report to the 20th CPC National Congress mentioned advancing the Healthy China initiative and giving strategic priority to ensuring people's health. The Chinese Peasants and Workers' Democratic Party mainly consists of people from the healthcare sector. My question goes to Chairperson He Wei. Given your party's unique advantage in the health sector, what will it do to help advance the Healthy China initiative and Chinese modernization? Thank you.
感谢你的问题。
Thank you for your question.
健康是立身之本。
Health is the very foundation of the development of the people and the country. since the 18th CPC National Congress. Under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, attaches great importance to healthcare. Rapid progress has been made in the healthcare sector, with important outcomes being achieved in a number of areas. Despite the impact of COVID-19, China jumped to the forefront among upper-middle income countries in terms of major health indicators. For example, average life expectancy is 78. For the US, the number is 70. The average level is 72. As our party mainly consists of people from the healthcare sector, we focus our work on two aspects. First, we will focus on what the party and the government care most about. The contradiction of China's society is the contradiction of people's needs for better life and unbalanced and inadequate development. The same goes to the healthcare sector. So we will both focus on what the party and the government care most about and our deficiencies or weak links in the healthcare sector. We have proposed to build the National Healthcare Security Administration, reform the public health system, and coordinate the reform of healthcare, medical insurance, and medicine. We focused on equity and accessibility of healthcare services. We contributed to poverty alleviation through improved medical services and proposed to establish the multi-tiered medical insurance system. Third, we focused on weak links in the healthcare sector. We proposed to launch a campaign on the fight against cancer, advance the building of national and regional medical centers, etc. Our party has earnestly implemented guiding principles of the 20th CPC National Congress. We will focus on the following tasks in the next following years. First is addressing the issues relating to elderly and childcare. We will also propose suggestions on birth policies and elderly care. Second, we will focus on diseases threatening people's health. First is the COVID-19 and other major infectious diseases, and second is major chronic diseases. We need to reduce their impact on people's health. Thirdly, we will focus on the health of the Chinese people. We will advocate a sound lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle. We have pulled consensus and faithfully performed our duties in this regard. In advancing the Healthy China initiative, we will continue to be the assistant, the advisor, and the good colleague of the CPC. Thank you.
团结报团结网记者提问，我的问题提给蔡达峰主席。民进先贤马叙伦曾经说过，只有跟着共产党走，才是在正道上行。作为民进中央主席，您是如何理解马老这句话的？民进作为参政党，是如何坚持在正道上行，做共产党的好参谋、好帮手、好同事的？谢谢。
团结报 My question goes to Chairperson Cai Da-feng. Former chairperson of the China Association for Promoting Democracy, Ma Xulun, once said, "Following the CPC is the only right path forward." What's your understanding of it? And what will the association do to stay on the right path and advise, assist, and work with the CPC? Thank you.
谢谢您对民进的关心。
Thank you for your interest in our association. The elder generation of the association, such as Ma Shilun, used to work side by side with the CPC. And in this process, they have accumulated a lot of valuable experience and fine traditions. Following the CPC is the only right path forward. Is the political conviction they practiced their whole life, and is the political heritage they've left us with. For us, the key is to keep their political legacy alive. This is an enduring task for non-CPC political parties. The purpose of this is to uphold and develop the CPC-led multi-party cooperation. It mainly focuses on carrying forward major political outcomes of multi-party cooperation, including political programs, convictions, morals, and fine traditions. Carrying forward their legacy is an important step to build the association stronger. Last December, the 13th National Congress of the Association was convened, during which the 15th Central Leadership and leading body was elected, which provided the organizational support to carry forward the political legacy. After that, the new Central Leadership will follow the political and theoretical guidance, will earnestly study the Xi Jinping thoughts on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, and General Secretary Xi Jinping's important thoughts on enhancing the work related to the united front in the new era. We will step up educational campaigns on political legacy and launch a new round of themed education to improve the understanding of the history of multi-party cooperation and the history and constitution of the association and fine traditions, in order to firm up the political conviction and enhance the sense of responsibility. Second, we will take solid steps in organization building. With the focus, with the new leadership in place, we will promptly kickstart relevant training and to enhance their capabilities in 5 key areas. We will uphold the principle of centralized leadership and divided responsibility, improve democratic procedures and the system of post-based responsibility, so as to give full play to the wide-ranging functions and exemplary role of the leadership. We will also follow the principle of training new talent and further improving the capacity of high-caliber personnel in a planned and steady manner. We will step up work related to young members, increase connections among members from different sectors, and unleash their initiative. We will improve our capacity of serving the nation. We will uphold the principle of multi-party cooperation and make efforts on both providing suggestions and building consensus. We will give top priority to learning major policies and initiatives, improve the methods of research and studies, enhance the mechanism for pooling wisdom and strength, and strengthen the institutions, standards, and IT support for performing duties. We will practice good conduct and carry forward the good conduct and the nobility of the elder generation. We will strengthen self-education, foster good learning habits, and with that, improve our work and life. We will tighten discipline requirements and take concrete steps to oppose pointless formalities, bureaucratism, hedonism, and extravagance, and present a good image of the association. We will also enhance the efficiency of institutional building. We will put the implementation of system at a more prominent position. We will conduct internal oversight and ensure full compliance with rules. General Secretary Xi Jinping expressed his hope that we, non-political CPC parties, keep up the fine tradition and continue to work with the CPC, serve the people and love the country, engage in cooperation with sincerity, and devote ourselves to work. He also called on us to carry forward the political conviction and the noble conduct of the elder generation and the deep bonds with the CPC. Our association will seize the opportunity brought by the new leadership, carry forward the political legacy, build ourselves stronger, and contribute to multi-party cooperation with a fresh new look. Thank you.
谢谢蔡大峰主席，请继续提问。请北区第一排中间那位男记者提问。
谢谢主持人。各位主席好，中国青年报、中国青年网记者提问。我们的问题想提给台盟中央苏辉主席。我们注意到，尽快恢复两岸民间正常交流往来，是当前两岸的主流民意。近年，大陆方面在造福台湾同胞、促进两岸各领域交流合作方面，持续出台和完善了政策举措，并一再向台湾方面表示，希望取消对两岸往来的人为限制。请问苏辉主席，在当前阶段，台盟将如何突出台字特色和乡情亲情优势，为恢复两岸交流合作、深化融合发展做出努力？谢谢。
China News Daily. My question goes to Chairperson Su Hui. An early resumption of cross-strait exchanges is what the people wish to see. Over the years, the mainland has introduced and refined policy measures to meet the needs of our Taiwan compatriots and encourage cross-strait exchanges and cooperation in all areas. It has also expressed to Taiwan authorities many times the wish to see restrictions on people-to-people exchanges removed. My question is, what will the Taiwan Democratic Self-Government League do to tap into the close connections and strong affinity its members have with the people in Taiwan, and facilitate the resumption of cross-strait interactions and integrated development? Thank you.
好，谢谢这位记者朋友的提问。
Thank you for your question and for your interest in the work of the Taiwan Democratic Self-Government League. For many years, we have leveraged our own strengths and advantages in relation to Taiwan, especially our affinity with Taiwan compatriots, and firmly implemented the central principles and policies on work related to Taiwan. We have taken earnest steps to bring the hearts of people both sides closer and deliver real benefits in our effort to advance Taiwan-related work and in various aspects and develop our overall work framework. And our work is as following. First, guided by General Secretary Xi Jinping's important instructions on Taiwan-related work, the League has participated in state affairs and contributed its voice, with a focus on the pro-reunification parties and groups in Taiwan and the process of cross-strait economic integration. We have carried out research and studies on key topics, including promoting integrated economic and social development and deepening non-official cross-strait exchanges and cooperation. Over the years, we have produced over 220 high-quality reports, through which we offered our proposals on the implementation and refining of relevant preferential policies for Taiwan. We have also worked actively to build platforms for cross-strait exchanges. In recent years, we have co-hosted with competent departments and local governments some forums, including the Straits Forum and the Cross-strait Seminar on leisure agriculture development and other distinctive exchange activities. These activities have played their role for the peaceful development of cross-strait relations. Second, we have worked to serve the overall work regarding Taiwan and unswervingly opposed independence and promoted reunification. We have held a series of cross-strait exchange events under the theme of peaceful development of cross-strait relations and China's reunification, with a view to uniting to the broadest and greatest extent possible Taiwan compatriots from both sides of the strait in a shared commitment to opposing independence and promoting reunification. Dajiang Forum, which is a flagship event of the League in advancing cross-strait ties, it has always made opposing Taiwan independence its defining feature. Pro-reunification figures from Taiwan have been invited to the forum, and they expressed their strong wish from inside Taiwan for national reunification. And every year, we hold the symposium commemorating the February 28th uprising by the Taiwan people. On this important event, we have invited pro-reunification figures from Taiwan to join the League in making our call for reunification, which fully reflected the joint opposition of people from both sides of the strait to Taiwan independence and their common aspiration for peaceful reunification. Third, we have leveraged our strength in our connections and affinity with Taiwan compatriots and explored new pathways for integrated development of the two sides. We have incorporated cross-strait elements into our work to serve society. Through the youth camp activities on integrated development, we have invited young people from Taiwan to experience for themselves and have exchanges with us so that they will see the development achievements of the mainland in various areas and feel the call of the times for integrated development of the two sides, particularly in our paired-up cooperation with Guizhou and other places. For example, we paired up with the county of Hezhang in Bijie, Guizhou. We've invited young people from Taiwan to join our activities for poverty reduction and to participate in this historic process. After they came, they felt very strongly about our trip, because in Hezhang, 99% of them are ethnic minorities, and they found that in Hezhang, ethnic minorities, their kids received help to get schooling, and in terms of employment and housing, these ethnic minorities have received a lot of help and care and seen good progress. So they were touched, and they say they saw the strength of the CPC. These clearly themed and distinctive activities brought people on both sides closer and promoted more affinity. Guided by the mission and responsibility of a political party participating in state affairs under socialism with Chinese characteristics in the new era, the League took an active part in this process. And fourth, we have explored various ways to enhance Taiwan compatriots' sense of national identity. Every year, at the traditional Chinese festivals, such as the Spring Festival, Lantern Festival, and Mid-Autumn Festival, we have explored the organization of our own activities to celebrate them. In the past 3 years, due to COVID-19, we organized virtual activities to bring the people from both sides of the strait together in celebration of these traditional Chinese festivals, which have been widely welcomed by Taiwan compatriots and demonstrated the close bond between people on both sides. The League has also hosted an exhibition and set up an exhibition hall on its history. We invited young people from Taiwan and young entrepreneurs to participate in exhibition arrangements to help them gain a correct understanding of the history of Taiwan and of the League, and to reverse the negative influence of the DPP's Taiwan independence narratives on young people. Some of them said emotionally that here they learned many historical truths that they couldn't see or learn in Taiwan, truths that are buried deep. They called it a vivid history class long overdue. These activities are meaningful and necessary. And going forward, we will continue to leverage our own features and strengths and deeply implement the CPC's overall policy for resolving the Taiwan question in the new era. We will deepen exchanges and cooperation with Taiwan on various fronts, unite Taiwan compatriots to the broadest extent in firmly opposing Taiwan independence, separatist activities, and advancing the process of national reunification and forge synergy across the strait to realize the Chinese dream. Thank you. For the interest of time, last question.
请南区第一排的这位男记者。
谢谢主持人，我是光明日报记者，我提一个问题：当下世界上科技竞争日趋激烈，请问93学社中央伍维华主席作为与科技界知识分子紧密联系的民主党派，在助力和加快建设科技强国方面，能够发挥什么样的独特的作用？谢谢。
光明 Daily. My question goes to Chairperson Wu Weihua. Amid growing global competition in science and technology, and given the Zhoushan Society's close link with this sector, what unique role can the Zhoushan Society play to help make China a leading country in science and technology? Thank you.
由于时间关系，我也简要
For the sake of time, I will be
谢谢这位记者的
brief.
提问。
Thank you for your
中
question.
共20大从长远发展
The
战略的
20th
高度，
CPC National Congress, with a keen grasp of the prevailing trends at home and abroad, spelled out forward-looking long-term plans on the country's strategy for invigorating China through science and education, the workforce development strategy, and innovation-driven development strategy. For the first time in the report to the Congress, education, science and technology and workforce development are presented in a separate chapter, fully demonstrating the great importance the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core attaches to this field of work. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, China's basic research has been strengthened, its science, technology and innovation capabilities improved, and breakthroughs made in core technologies in key fields. China has made a historic leap and joined the ranks of the world's innovators. On a new journey to realize the second centenary goal and to advance the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation on all fronts through Chinese modernization, there is a growing and more pressing need to enhance China's STI capabilities. General Secretary Xi Jinping stressed the importance of accelerating efforts to build scientific and technological self-reliance and strength. He made it clear that the thorough implementation of major strategies on science and education and workforce development provides robust strategic support for Chinese modernization. To work with greater initiative and perform their duties diligently on the central tasks is the role of non-CPC political parties and the strength and value of China's political party system. As a political party participating in state affairs under Chinese socialism and one composed mainly of intellectuals in the science and technology sector, the Zhoushan Society is closely connected with this community, and over the past 70 years and more, we have focused on major issues in China's economic and social development, particularly in science and education. For example, as early as the 1950s,
I think it's 1956. 66 Jusan Society members took part in the formulation of China's 12-year plan on scientific and technological advancement, and 12 members won China's first National Natural Science Award. And also in 1986, our members, including Wang Ganchang and Chen Fangyu, proposed to follow the advance of science and technology in the world and accelerate China's high-tech development, thus enabling the launch of the 863 program. Over the past 10 years and more, the Jusan Society has carried out in-depth research and actively put forward proposals on the reform of the science and technology management system and innovation-driven development strategy. On the new journey, with its close ties with the science and technology sector, we will further strengthen its work and facilitate the implementations of the major strategies. First, it will uphold the CPC's overall leadership, advocate its fine tradition of embracing patriotism, democracy and science, firm up confidence in innovation and carry forward the spirit of devotion to the country and people. It will help strengthen the pioneering spirit and invigorate their passion for scaling new heights and achieving breakthroughs in core technologies. Second, it will actively perform its duties and focus on improving the new system for mobilizing innovation resources nationwide, better allocating innovation resources, strengthening basic research, and enhancing innovation capabilities and unlocking the creativity of talent. Third, it will bring together the wisdom and strength of more outstanding talent for the fight of scientific and technological self-reliance and strength. We will support and encourage our members and the sector to combine STI development with the features and needs of Chinese modernization, press ahead and take on challenges in tackling major problems in scientific frontiers and core technologies in key fields, so as to contribute our share to realizing scientific and technological self-reliance and strength. Thank you. That is the end of the press conference. I want to thank all the chairpersons, thank our interpreter, and all the staff, and I thank the journalists. Bye-bye.